divorce court.
The reason I'm here today is me and my husband, we're having a lot of issues. Lately, Tom's been very controlling.
Tabatha believes I'm controlling, and I'm just trying to prove to her that I'm trying to be protective.
He won't let me have friends. He doesn't let me do anything, constantly checking my phone. I believe a lot of the issues with our finances is that he's not only lying to me about the amount of money that we have, but he's also keeping it to purchase drugs from people.
She doesn't think that the alcohol that she drinks affects our finances as well.
I did see myself spending the rest of my life with Tom at one point, but I really don't know anymore.
Divorce court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toller presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Tabatha Raudabaugh and Thomas Raudabaugh. Mr. and Mrs. Raudabaugh, the two of you have been together for a year, married for 2 months, and in trouble already. You are here on a Save My Marriage because you need me to help you get through what's going on in your life. You have 2 children altogether from previous relationships. You have no children together.
Correct.
Mrs. Raudabaugh, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me why we're in trouble 2 months into this marriage?
There's been several issues. The reason we're in trouble is he's very controlling. For example, the way me and Tom met is we actually worked as energy consultants, and we lived in company housing, which means everybody that we worked with, which was all guys, might I add, we all lived in the same apartment building, depending where everybody lived. And he's very introverted. I'm a very extroverted personality, and so I would invite the guys over for dinner, you know, drinks. We'd listen to music after work. Him, on the other hand, wasn't fond of that, so he would literally come out and like drag me back to the bedroom to the point where I literally was, in a sense, being held hostage.
He's introverted, you're extroverted. I got that part. How long did you know him before you started dating him? Let's start there.
Just a couple weeks, honestly.
A couple of weeks?
Yeah.
When did you first notice that he was controlling?
After we had moved in together.
And how long after you knew him did you move in with him?
Ooh, about a month or two.
A month or two?
Yeah.
Give me one more story that would demonstrate to me how controlling he really is.
Well, for example, my phone. I use my phone quite a bit to keep contact with lifelong friends. And it's like every message I would send, he would read and then ask me questions about. Like, he has to know exactly what I'm doing and when I'm doing it. For example, when I wake up in the morning, I'm a morning person, he's not. If I even leave the bedroom, he'll wake up and get upset because he wants me to be around him at all times.
Now, Mr.
I'd just like to know where she is.
Why don't you tell me your version of the control list? Do you believe you're controlling? Do you have an issue, or do you believe she's not trustworthy?
She looks at it controlling. I look at it as protective.
Okay.
I'm looking at it protective. Hey, hear me out now. Her history. She's a previous escort/stripper.
Uh-huh.
And when you work on an all-male crew, there is a flirtatious attitude with the gentlemen that she likes to hang out with, some being a little more flirtatious than others, and some would like to flirt back.
Right.
And so, as for the cell phone, sometimes previous clients from when she was an escort or a stripper would reach out to her. So I would always like just to keep tabs on her to make sure that she wasn't getting messages from them.
You describe that as protective. I describe it as jealous and fearful, which is two different things, because you are not protecting her. You're protecting your own feelings, because she can handle herself. So you're not protecting her. We got to call what you're actually doing, because if we don't, we're not going to get anywhere. Because I'm here to help you. This is a Save My Marriage.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, and from what I read, y'all need a lot of help. Now, has she done anything in the year that you've been together that would make you believe she's actually doing the wrong thing?
Well, the first time we slept together, it was, she was dating her ex, and it was a threesome, might I add you, with another guy, so.
A trifecta.
Yes, ma'am. It's menage a trois.
She's not a boyfriend with 2 different guys at the same time. Is that accurate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Y'all jump in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and wonder why you're wet.
Let's take
You
a
know
swim.
what I mean? Whew.
I know.
Are you surprised that he's a little jealous and insecure, given the manner in which you met and conducted your first sexual experience?
No, it seems to become quite extreme every day, though. You know, not being able to even leave his side in the morning, which now we've moved back. This was in Rockford, Illinois, our job. We now live back in Springfield, Missouri, which is where I'm from, and we're staying with a friend. And, like, he's so protective that, like, I can't even walk 2 feet to the bathroom when they're obviously asleep with just a shirt on and panties.
Mind
Like,
you, there's a boy in the house as well.
he's not awake at
Always.
that time, and I
You
have
never
to pee.
know, he's a full
All I had
boy.
to do was pee.
Hey, Mrs. Raudabaugh, let me explain to you why you're wrong.
Okay, I'll listen.
I mean, I got married, I had a bunch of stuff. I used to run around half clothed all the time. You can't do that when you got young folks in the house. You
Of
can't
course
do it when
not.
you got a dude in the house. It bothers the dude you're with. That's just a rule.
Thank you.
Team Tommy.
I mean, you know, it's just a rule. That's how it is. It's one of the things you can't do. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
My understanding is, however, that you two still engage in threesomes
Yes.
as a part of your married
Let's
life.
say used to now.
We've drawn the
'Cause
line
we've-
for you.
Yes.
You've
both
what?
We've both hit our break-even point. Two with two guys and two with two girls.
He thinks we're even now.
Yeah. So now she thinks I owe her one because she's got jealous about the last threesome with two girls.
So if
We've had four threesomes altogether.
let me ask you a question. I need to understand the breaking even part. You and she had to have the same number of outside partners in order for you to be comfortable that you can remain within the union, just the two of you. Is that what you're telling me?
It sort of turned out that way for the
He
most
thinks
part.
it's a happy ending. It's
Well,
a fair ending.
Yes, it's a fair ending. I'll agree with that.
You think he's a sex addict.
Yes.
Why do you believe that?
Well, when we first got together, like he said, it was kind of an interesting experience. We started with the guy, and then from there, we did kind of become exclusive for a while. And I mean, I think it's normal for married couples to have sex like 3 times a day, but
Don't tell my husband.
oh no, 3 to 5. That's not even his normal. No, he literally will do it 3 to 5 times a day. Like, it's like he won't even talk to me, but out of the blue, he'll pop in and be like, "You want to have sex?" And I'll be like, "Okay, sure." And then I'll tell him I'm or we'll get in a huge fight.
Whoa! Got to. Oh, I got. Do you believe you're a sex addict?
Yes, ma'am. And there's
Thank
nothing
you.
wong with
No,
that.
Thank you for your brevity. I appreciate it. I think one of your problems is, well, I'll get to that later.
Which is one. Don't worry, there's many.
I want to talk about children and what she did and did not tell you when you got together. You also say that if you don't give him enough sex during the day, that he masturbates to videos of you having sex with other guys. Is that true? Mr. Raudabaugh, you say your wife was dishonest with you about her situation and about her fertility. Why don't you tell me why you believe she was dishonest with you?
After the threesome, we actually got together and we were just me and her one-on-one.
Right,
And so we slept together again,
right.
but she did not decide to tell me that she was fixed, which later on we started talking about having kids.
Unlike a dog, she had her tubes tied.
So be it.
Okay.
Yes. She had her tubes tied. But she thought it would be a turn-on for her if she didn't tell me that she was fixed.
I want to see if
Had
you
her
come at
tubes
me.
tied.
I'm sorry.
Mrs. Raudabaugh,
Tubes
why
tied.
don't you explain to me what occurred with respect to that particular piece of information?
I had kind of talked with him, like, I just want to know if he wanted kids, because I'm a mom of 2. So when we first hooked up, it was important to know. We ended up having a pregnancy scare, which I knew that wasn't going to happen, but he didn't. And that's when I actually told him.
I've given up. Thank you, though.
Yeah, and the only reason that I ended up telling him is because he was really convinced that I was pregnant. And when I finally did come out to him, he was a little upset by it. to be honest. I just didn't want him to leave me. You know, as a woman in a marriage with a guy that has no kids, I don't want to let him down and not be able to give him a kid one day. It is reversible, but that's something that's way in the future.
Right. I understand there's some substance issues.
Used to. Yes.
Well, Ms. Raudabaugh, why don't you tell me what you believe the substance issues are in your marriage?
When we first got together, you know, he was the sweetest, quietest guy ever. And I mean, I never would suspect in a million years. When we worked together, he would frequently leave and just take off to a bathroom. He finally did, like a week or so in, admit to me what he was doing at the time. He was doing heroin and crack. And that was a big issue because as a mother of 2, I really liked him. It's not someone...
No, it's not something you want to bring home. I get that. Mr. Raudabaugh, you say that's no longer an issue.
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been free of those substances?
Since January 3rd.
Since January 3rd of this year. Okay.
ma'am.
Now, and good for you, because that is a hard thing to get. Now, often what I find is when somebody's just kicked, one thing, they have a replacement substance.
Yes.
Do you have a replacement substance?
I'll jump into alcohol every now and then.
How often is every now and then?
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
And do you get inebriated every day, or is it just a glass of wine in the evening, or do you get lit? Tell me the truth.
Well, it depends on how good on terms we are.
If y'all fighting,
We getting lit.
you get lit.
Getting lit.
Do you
Then it
drink
gets
as
Then it gets
well?
worse.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you drink every day?
That was one of our issues. Is I recently went to detox because I was concerned about the drinking, and just kind of back to controlling. He was really concerned because he couldn't go into the facility with me, so I actually ended up checking out early, but was able to at least use the resources to, better drinking on my behalf.
I got to ask you this. I saw in your paperwork, once you claimed that he was a sex addict, you also say that if you don't give him enough sex during the day, that he masturbates to videos of you having sex with other guys. Is that true?
He thinks he's sneaky, and so during some of our sessions, he will tape me while he's me, and I don't know. And I have found these. There's about 3 or 4 videos.
She found them
and
right
then
after I did it
somewhere in
anyways.
my Google Photos, which is what your phone backs up to from an old phone of mine, I had a sex tape with a guy I was seeing, and somehow he found it, and I found it downloaded
Why
to his
have it on
phone.
your phone if you... Shouldn't it be gone?
Okay. I got it. I see what kind of trip we're on. Now I'm going to switch gears and talk about something I'm more comfortable with. Money. When I asked, what do you want from your spouse? You said guaranteed sobriety. And then when I asked you what you're willing to give to him, you said an effort to go to therapy. You can guarantee a trip to therapy, but you can't guarantee sobriety. Do you see how wrong that is? What would you do if your partner requested sex 5 times a day? Tell us what you think at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. Mrs. Raudabaugh, you say he is so controlling that he doesn't want you to have a job that he doesn't have because he won't be able to see you while you're working. Tell me about that, the conversations that you had with respect to that.
We had a job that we just got together, and it was in a field that I'm used to that he's not with job history. It was for customer service, and it was working with credit repair. It wasn't something he's done before, so he wanted to quit, and I had to quit with him. And now that we're reapplying, he's getting upset because the places I'm applying at, he hasn't applied at, and he's trying to match up. So it's making it really hard to find a job we can both do because we have 2 complete...
I gotcha. We gave you a compatibility test because we always give young couples who are having trouble compatibility tests to see where you're going wrong.
Uh-oh.
And, we ain't got a week, so I'll do the best I can. You said something very interesting in your papers. When I asked, what do you want from your spouse? You said guaranteed sobriety. And then when I asked you what you're willing to give to him, you said an effort to go to therapy. That's deep. You can guarantee a trip to therapy, but you can't guarantee sobriety. So you can't even guarantee that you'll try, and you're trying to ask him to guarantee that he'll succeed. Do you see how wrong that is?
Yeah.
You both are very needy. And you're both like 2 basketballs bobbling in the ocean. And you're grabbing onto each other to anchor, but neither one of you is anchored. So you're just bobbing about and banging into each other and bobbing about and banging into each other. And then you bang into somebody else and you bob and you bob and you bob and you bob. And everybody, you're looking at him to secure you and he's looking at you to secure him. And neither one of you secure, so it's not going to work. You understand? Y'all fight all the time, don't you?
Damn right. Why do you think we're here?
Can you just say yes?
Yes, ma'am.
You said some things that tripped me out yourself. When I asked what things are wrong with you, you said you have an addictive personality, high something, depression and anxiety, you're introverted and sociopathic. Now, I don't believe you're a sociopath. I don't know you that well, But I'm always afraid in this society these days, we're always diagnosing people from a distance. Ain't none of us got a degree, but everybody, I'm married to a narcissist. He's bipolar. Ain't nobody seen a psychiatrist yet. Don't self-diagnose. Even if you're a psychiatrist, you shouldn't self-diagnose. Because, number one. Number two.
This might have been some of her labels for me.
You got issues, and you know you got issues. And I'm glad you know you got issues. But the question is, what does one do when one finds out one has an issue, and how does one get started? And that's what we're going to talk about. Would you marry a former drug addict? Share your opinion on Twitter and Instagram at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. Y'all a hot mess. But I like you.
That's an understatement.
And let me tell you why I like you. You know what's wrong. Wait, I don't think you know what's wrong, but you know that something's wrong. And you don't sit out here and pretend that something's going on that isn't going on. You're not justifying, you're not deflecting, you're just so deeply in your dysfunction, and you call it what it is. And the first thing you need to do in order to solve your dysfunction is to ID it. Listen, I got a psychiatrist on speed dial. I don't even know his number. I press Chris. Hey, Lynn, what's up? And then I tell him what's up. You know why? Because if something's going wrong with me, I want to be the first person to know. I want to step in early, step in hard, and take care of it because I've got people counting on me. You got people counting on you. Her people are counting on you now because you're married to her. So you guys got to step forward at that. But I really want you to see counseling. There is a weakness in both of you, and you cannot stand discomfort. People who are going after these addictions, one after another, are seeking to soothe and not dealing with the discomfort of an uncomfortable situation. It's much easier to have sex than it is to deal with a difficult situation. It's much easier to pick up a bottle or a needle than it is to fight through a circumstance. And I want you to understand that you're avoiding the issue by engaging in your addictive conduct, and then your addictive conduct becomes an issue in and of itself. You see what I'm saying? Two separate things are happening. I think you're good people that just got stuck in it. Now, let me say this. Any guy who deals with a woman who has that kind of history, it's really hard for them to get over. So I just want to say that it's not personal. That's just those creatures over there. Now, let me tell you about that. You've got plenty of reasons to distrust her, no doubt about it. But you married her. So now that you're married her, enjoy her. Don't wonder about where she's going.
Yes,
don't wonder about what she's doing. Don't control it, because you can't control it. If she wants to sleep with somebody, she will. Trust her and know that if she does the wrong thing, you can very calmly, in a relaxed manner, say, baby, I don't like you no more. And I'm going to go, because I don't want to deal with a woman who runs around on me.
Yeah.
Out the door.
I love her.
But don't be miserable every day on the off chance she might hurt you one day. I think that is a bad trade, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
I wish you both the best. I really do. But you got to get somebody on speed dial.
All right, well,
You know
let's
what I'm
talk to
saying?
yours first.
No, I like my guy. You can't have him. But you with me?
Yes,
It's doable. It's fixable. You willing to do that? For your kids.
absolutely.
Good luck to the both of you. This matter is adjourned.
So the judge threw a lot at you guys today. You're willing to open up and accept?
Absolutely. I've never given him a reason not to trust me. My phone's there if he ever wants to see it.
Well, he sees it. We know that, right?
Oh, yeah, he does.
Not anymore, but we used to.